Hey guys, welcome to the clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Okay, now, if anybody knows me, you know that Transformers is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Unfortunately, the movies haven't done them justice until now. You know, we have the Michael Bay Transformer films. You know, the first one I thought was good, but they drastically declined after that. But then Bumblebee came out as a reboot, and I thought that it was fantastic. And now they have this movie that's a sequel to that and takes place in the 90s, where Bumblebee took place in the 80s. So I was very excited about this movie. It's my most anticipated movie of the year. And was it worth the wait? Yes! This movie was awesome. I loved it. Now, it did have some problems, which I'll go over in a second. I'll try to get all the kind of the nitpicky stuff out of the way, and then I'll tell you everything that I thought was great about this movie. First off, the human element in this movie is horrendous. The acting is terrible. The Transformer aspect of this movie, from the story to the characters themselves, I thought was excellent. They did a great job on the Transformers in this movie, from a great villain, a great plot, and a great setup for the next movie, which we'll talk about in a second as well. Anyway, I wish they could really find some great actors to portray the human aspects that they have to have in these movies. And I understand why they need to have humans in this movie, but I really wish that they would just get rid of all the human elements in the Transformers lore, because it's getting to the point to where it's just ridiculous when you have such a great franchise on your hands and they kind of just ruin it. It's almost like having food with no seasoning. And these films really need some good seasoning. They need some good seasoned actors to come in and do these movies, and they would be ultimately fantastic as a whole. But really, the human element in all the movies, even the Michael Bay's to this reboot, the only good acting job I thought was Haley Steinfeld in Bumblebee. And Bumblebee, I think, is the better film than this, but this movie was great. I mean, it's my second favorite of the whole Transformers franchise, you know, so far so good. And it does lead up to another movie, which I can't wait for. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to tell you, definitely watch the post-credit scenes, because the first post-credit scene, it's the final second of that scene got me more excited than this whole entire movie. I won't tell you why, but when it hits, it was amazing. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm glad that they did it, and it really gets me pumped up for the next movie or two movies or however many movies they're going to do in this franchise. I'm definitely more excited now than I was going into this movie. That being said, I think it's very enjoyable. You need to go out in theater to watch it, but just try to get past the human elements. It has one of the greatest Transformer opening scenes besides Bumblebee. That's the best. But this is equal to that. It was really good. It got me pumped up for the movie itself, but then it goes right into the human elements and it kind of just dragged me down. But it brought me back up with all the great action and story, and I thought Pete Davidson did great as Mirage. He was probably not my favorite of the movie, but of course Optimus Prime is my favorite. And really, Optimus Prime felt like the main character of this movie, and that really made me excited because he really hasn't been focused on in all the movies. It's either been the humans or, you know, some other Transformer storyline going on. It really hasn't been about him, but this one felt like it was about him. As far as the Maximals go, I loved Beast Wars growing up. You know, the animated series is it's in my top 10 animated series of all time. That was another little disappointing factor of this movie, was the fact that you got the Maximals, you know, Optimus Primal and Air Razor and Rhinox and Cheetor, but you only really got Airazor and Optimus Primal. They're really the only two characters that really interacted with anything. Of course, you got the other ones, and they fought a couple of times. But even when they transformed, that you never got to see their whole robot form except for when they were in the middle of a fight, and it's really, fast paced and there's a lot of stuff going on. And I really wanted to see where they were going to go with the Maximals. Now, after I saw the movie, I did see an interview with the director, and he promises that there's going to be more Maximals and we're going to get more involved into their lore and story. So that gets me excited as well. But anyway, guys, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I definitely say go out to the theater and see it. It's worth seeing it on the big screen. You'll have a great time. And if you like the Transformers lore, this one you'll definitely appreciate more than the Michael Bay films, hopefully. But anyway, that's my overall thoughts. But it's not all about what I think. What do you think? Have you seen Transformer Rise of the Beast? Do you plan on watching it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!